let's talk about the memo that went out, the talking points memo that went out. So this is from Matt Royer, and he took a screenshot of all these different influencers on X and what they posted, and some politicians. So he says, Ashley St. Clair, that's Elon's baby mama, Ashley St. Clair confirmed the White House runs group chats telling these accounts what to post within minutes of shots fired tonight, before there was any news of casualties and before the president said this exact talking point. This was the chat in real time. So you've got all these accounts. So you've got Andrew Colvett, Libs of TikTok, Jack Posobiec, End Wokeness, Wall Street Mavericks, Meghan McCain, Tara Bowl, Dustin Grage. If you guys aren't on X, you probably don't know who a lot of these people are, but they are all Con Inc. influencers and a couple of neocon politicians. And you got Cernovich, who I actually like Cerno. Tom Fitton, Geiger Capital, Buzz Patterson, Sean Farash, Nick Adams, Randy Fine, and Brennan Hollyhand. So all of these posts, I'll just read the post. I won't even say who's saying them, but it's all the same thing. So all those names I just said, you've got, this is why President Trump needs to build the White House ballroom. This is why we need Trump's ballroom. Thank God President Trump is building a ballroom at the White House. Now you know why the left is suing to block Trump's privately funded White House ballroom. We need the White House ballroom. I don't want to hear any more effing criticism of Trump's new ballroom at the White House. Now you know why they don't want Trump to build a ballroom in the White House. I don't want to hear another word from Democrats about the White House ballroom or DHS funding now. Cernovich had the most elaborate one. The Democrat judges who stopped the construction of the White House ballroom did so to enable assassination of Trump, which almost happened tonight. John Roberts needs to get these thugs into order. Everyone sees what they're trying to do. So that actually seemed like an original thought from Cerno. So I'm actually going to put him outside of this and say I'm going to hope that he's not part of the talking points email chain. Tonight is one more reason for the new White House Trump ballroom. If only there was a ballroom at the White House where they could host secure events. The White House ballroom is looking better and better. Would be real nice if the White House had its own ballroom, huh? Build the White House ballroom now. Randy Fine, we'd better never again hear a peep from anyone complaining about the White House ballroom. When Democrats don't get their way, they get dangerous. Build the White House ballroom. So clearly the talking points went out. So there's no way that was a coincidence. There's definitely some sort of email chain that a bunch of different people are on. And it's like, here's your talking points for the day. Go ahead and post all this stuff. How embarrassing is that though? Like wouldn't you be embarrassed to be part of this group that's doing this stuff? Like clearly you're just putting out slop because you're paid to put out slop. And you're pushing some sort of agenda. In this case, the White House ballroom. Now, there's a lot of people that are speculating that this whole thing was a ruse. This whole thing was staged and it wasn't real. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying it wasn't the case either. But would you really go through this whole elaborate thing to justify the damn ballroom? That seems a bit weird to me anyway. But here's Pam Bondi. We must have the ballroom completed to protect POTUS and his guests. God bless the president, his administration, and our great country. And that's because the White House put out a post that says, build the White House ballroom. What happened last night is exactly the reason that our great military, Secret Service, law enforcement, and for different reasons, every president for the last 150 years have been demanding that a large, safe, and secure ballroom be built on the grounds of the White House. This event would never have happened with the military top secret ballroom currently under construction at the White House. It cannot be built fast enough. While beautiful, it has every highest level security feature there is. Plus, there are no rooms sitting on top for unsecured people to pour in, and is inside the gates of the most secure building in the world, the White House. The ridiculous ballroom lawsuit brought by a woman walking her dog who has absolutely no standing to bring such a suit must be dropped immediately. Nothing should be allowed to interfere with it when its construction, which is on budget and substantially ahead of schedule. Thank you. Better build the ballroom. Okay, let's keep going. This is from Shadow of Ezra. He's posting a clip from Fox News here. It says, President Trump, now is the perfect time for Congress to immediately approve FISA. Never let a crisis go to waste. Isn't that the famous Hillary Clinton quote? So start again. President Trump now says the perfect time for Congress to immediately approve the FISA domestic spying program for the national security reasons that the military really needs it. Trump says he's willing to give up his liberties for safety, even though FISA was weaponized against him by bad people. I'm willing to give up my security for the military. All right, let's watch this clip from Trump talking to Fox News.
Surveillance tool that expires this coming week. It obviously allows the FBI to surveil potential terrorists who are overseas. And we don't know right now if this individual was radicalized by somebody like that. But do you think about the importance of having these tools to protect our country from these kinds of threats? And how will you get that message to Congress when there's a Congress right now that's skeptical about renewing those powers?
Well, Jackie, I know both sides of it because FISA was used against me and very, very viciously by a dirty cop. You know, we had the Comey gang, Comey and his remnants, and it was used against me. And they used it very illegally. I mean, they signed court orders that were illegal. Mm-hmm. Every one of those people should be prosecuted, frankly. It was used against me. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is that the military really needs it, and it's really needed for national security. And there's a division, but I was willing to give that up. I mean, because again, it was used against me more than anybody else, and by bad people, by sick people. Also, these are sick people. Comey was terrible. He was a horrible, sick person. He had real problems, and I used the word to describe him. He was a dirty cop. It's an old-fashioned term, but he was a dirty cop, bad guy. And there were other bad guys, and they used FISA illegally. They used it for a purpose that wasn't supposed to be used for. Okay. On the other side, you have the military. They really need it. General Raisin Cain. Look at the success we had in Venezuela. Look at the success we're having with Iran. I mean, Iran is decimated, and we got a lot of information by using FISA. I think we would have been very successful regardless, but it made the job a lot safer and a lot easier. So I would say, and what I've done, and I've told people, I'm willing to give up my security for the military, because ultimately that's, to me, the highest cause is the safety of our nation.
Oh, give up your liberties for the illusion of safety, folks. That's what Donald Trump wants here. All right, so what we learned from this whole event is that we need a ballroom and FISA. So that clearly is the most logical outcome from all of this, is that they pass FISA and continue building the ballroom, obviously. I mean, who couldn't come to that conclusion?